numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign bras, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet ho. I ain't gotta shut the cell off.
Everybody, welcome to week 16 of the NFL on the No Look podcast. Today we are in the store, 9,000 square feet of
9,000
games TV studio. We got Big B with us, recurring guest now.
Recurring guest, Big B, second time on the pod.
Thanks for having me again.
Big podcast.
Big podcast.
Your boy Osoy, ACWeezy, the man goddamn T-Hayes. You know, big week in football. A lot of teams' destinies were, I guess, made this week.
Well, it's that time of year, Tyler. You know, it's like we watch Red Zone, obviously, probably a majority of football fans. You see the witching hour. This is the witching hour of the NFL season. Week 16, right? We got 18 weeks now. They added an extra game. Still getting adjusted to that. But it's about that time, honey.
It is. I mean, we might as well get right into it. We're going to go over the Week 16 schedule game by game. First one was Thursday night, Niners at Titans. Both me and Austin actually picked the Niners to win it. And the Titans, Biggie, you got the score on that one?
Final score of 20-17, Titans.
Titans. I mean, I was on a plane on the way to New York, so I didn't really catch a lot of it. But I feel like every time I watch the game, A.J. Brown or Deebo Samuel was catching a ball for like 57 yards.
It's the year of the running back / wide receiver, A.J. Brown, Cordell Patterson, Deebo Samuel. These guys are built like running backs. They play the wide receiver position. I have no idea what's going on. Interesting game, Tyler. You and I, we don't know what to make of the Titans year long.
Yeah.
They're still in the position to secure the number 1 overall seed in the AFC. Potentially getting Derrick Henry back sooner than expected. It's going to be interesting.
Also, let me ask you this. Because I've been notably saying all podcast season long for the past 5 weeks, Niners are the hottest team in football, I've been saying.
Yes.
Do you think that their time is up and they're starting to come to fruition on who they actually are?
No, I think they still have good bones.
Great bones.
Great bones.
Is it a bones day?
Big bones, baby. But no, in all honesty, like, I'm not off on the Niners. If they had won this game, I think it would have probably furthered my, initial thought of them being like the team to beat, the hottest team in the NFC.
Yeah.
They dropped a close one to the Seahawks. They lost this one in, close fashion. What was it, 19-13?
17-20.
17-20, right there.
Final score.
No, a lot of it is contingent on Garoppolo, obviously.
Correct.
See how he plays.
Well, I did see a stat, not to interrupt you, but Garoppolo is 7-0 when he doesn't throw an interception. And he was, I think, going into
Did he throw a pick last game?
Yeah, when he does throw an interception, he's like 1-6 going into that game, and he ended up throwing, I believe, 2 interceptions in that game. So as soon as you see Garoppolo throw that first interception, you're like, well, their odds automatically drastically go down. And obviously, the 49ers, they have Fred Warner back, their stud middle linebacker that is young. Bosa's been playing out of this world this season, but I feel like a lot of it is contingent on Garoppolo, as you were saying, and I just don't think he is the answer for not only this team, but I don't see him being the answer for a lot of teams. Because if you can't win with the 49ers and Shanahan's offense, you got Kittle, you got Ayuk, you got Deebo. Then you got all these running backs going in. I mean, it's kind of sad because you have options. It's not like their offensive line is terrible. They have good offensive linemen with McGleachy and Mack. So they have the weapons. It's just Garoppolo. I mean, he's just like Derek Carr, if I'm being honest. He makes stupid decisions. Yeah. And when he does that, their odds of winning the game go down by a landslide.
I mean, I think we already saw what Garoppolo is. Couldn't get it done in the Super Bowl.
True.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what we're looking at with Carson Wentz and Indianapolis. They They have a great defense, good run game. You know, they have a lot of weapons on offense. But if the quarterback isn't playing well, then it really, you know, puts a blemish on that team. And, you know, we saw that on Thursday night against the Titans. Titans are in a peculiar situation. You know, Henry's supposedly coming back. A.J. Brown was back, you know, clearly missed him.
You get those two healthy, making a playoff push, man.
Yeah.
They're serious. Their defense is a lot better than last year.
Yeah, I mean, Vrabel, you know, anytime you have him coaching, he knows what he's doing on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, Tannehill, same type situation. We're talking about Garoppolo, Wentz, Tannehill. These, like, kind of middle-tier, middle-of-the-pack quarterbacks, if they play well, that's, you know, all the difference in the games.
It's like those classic teams that defense is great, you know, obviously pending health in San Francisco, and all you need is a quarterback that doesn't mess up the game.
Right.
Well, Tennessee moves into second place in the AFC, and San Francisco pushes themselves for sixth in the NFC. They're still in playoff contention. Obviously, this game would have helped them win a lot, especially regarding the Colts-Cardinals game that we'll get into after this next game. The next game we got Browns at Packers. Both Austin and I lost this one with the spread of 7.5. The Packers did not cover, but they did win the game.
Looked like they were going to cover for a while there.
Yeah.
Pretty easily.
I mean, Austin, why don't you give us a deep dive information on exactly what happened and break down this game for us?
Well, the biggest thing for the Packers right now, their offensive line is very beat up. You know, still waiting on Bakhtiari. I think the center, what is it, Treader?
JC
Treader.
Is he your center?
I forget if it's Treader. Treader might have went to the Browns.
Treader definitely plays for the Browns.
Yeah.
I don't recognize
Corey
that name.
Lindsley.
Lindsley plays for the Chargers, I thought.
You know your team, brother?
Dude, their line is so beat up. Usually it's like
it is really beat
Bakhtiari, Ellen Jenkins. You know, last year is Treader. Then they had whoever.
They had Lindsley at
whoever
one
at
point.
right guard, Bill Turner. They have literally 0 of their first team starters on the line right now. However, they are still looking good. Aaron Jones, you know, A.J. Dillon. And you got Rodgers there. He just broke the all-time passing records for the Packers, passing Brett Favre. You know, it's going to be interesting. Bakhtiari, they activated him like 3 weeks ago. He still hasn't played a game. Jair Alexander supposedly coming back. You know, one of the best cornerbacks in the league.
Yeah, you guys are pretty beat up right now.
The defense.
And you're still now 11-3.
12-3.
12-3.
Atop the division.
Right
Pretty
now,
much, if they win one more game, they clinch home field advantage.
Yeah, their fate
They
is in
don't
their
have
own
to
hands.
technically, but you know,
The
Rams are
defense.
11-4.
The only thing I'll say on this, and you know, Tyler, obviously I can talk for days on the Packers. The defense was looking great. It kind of got exposed this past weekend. Clearly running the football. You know, Stokes has looked great. Savage. You know, Rasul Douglas. This guy has been a diamond in the rough. They picked him up off the Cardinals practice squad. He's had like 5 interceptions, you know, in the 5 weeks he's been here. 2 for pick sixes. You know, it'll be interesting. Kenny Clark got to the Pro Bowl. But I don't know. Like I said, there's still injuries happening in Green Bay, and it'll be interesting to see how the last 2 weeks shape out.
Well, this game put the Browns at 7-8. Like I said, the Packers are 12-3 atop the NFC. Really, they just need the Rams and the Bucks to kind of lose one or they win one.
Well, they got
and clinch.
They got the Vikings and the Lions back to back. I'm not too worried about it. Obviously, the Vikings pose the most
W's.
threat, but
If you guys win against the Vikings, do you think you could win against the Lions without most of your starters in?
for surely.
I mean, the Lions are one of
Like
those
Jordan
tricky
Love
teams.
wins, gets a win against Detroit.
That would be a good tune-up game for Jordan Love. Obviously, the first one was against the Chiefs, and it didn't turn out as
That did
planned.
not go well for him.
Right. I mean, I'll say this. The Packers win against the Vikings, and then what? The Bucks lose, and the Cowboys lose.
You need the Rams, the Cowboys, and the Bucks to lose technically. But
Yeah.
I feel like if you guys
So
win
if
next
any
week,
of
you
those
clinch.
teams
Right.
win,
The only thing I'm going to
Rodgers
say,
you're going to play your starters.
it'll be interesting if the Packers win next week, and whoever, they need to loses for them to clinch the first overall seed, because he's been adamant about like not needing surgery on his pinky toe. 2 weeks, right? They get the Lions and then a bye week. Be interesting to see what they do, because from my knowledge, it's like a 1-2 week like recovery time from that surgery. So
Is it just a broken toe? What
it's
is
a
it?
broken pinky toe.
So it's like straighten it out. And then
It's like you fix it,
let it
a week
heal
or
up.
so of recovery time, and
Right.
it should be good.
Is Preston Smith back, or is it Darius Smith?
Darius Smith has not been back yet this season.
hasn't been back either.
No.
So those guys are projected to come back for probably after the bye week in the playoffs, or
Same type deal. Zadarius, Jair, Bakhtiari, they've all been activated. I don't know if they're like, they know something we don't know. What's the TikTok? I know something you don't.
I mean, you gotta.
I know something you could never know.
I don't either. I don't know that one. I do another reference.
I watch a lot of
but
TikTok, my man.
TikTok guys.
I know.
Shout out
I'm
to
a big
Sam.
TikTok guy.
I know the Rams activated Cam Akers because he needed, if he was going to get paid, he needed to play or be activated the last 3 games of the season to receive his pension. So maybe that's why the Packers are doing it for them, just like a classy move by the organization, which I could see the Packers
Could be
doing.
so, yeah.
So, but, I mean, the next game we got, the last one on Christmas, was the Colts at Cardinals. Me and Austin both picked this game. The Colts winning.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan, what was the final score of that game? You were my score guy. Obviously, the Colts
22-16.
22-16. I feel like it was a lot further spread of a game than it actually turned out to be. It seemed as if the Colts owned that game throughout the whole entire time.
Yeah, their defense looked really good.
Their defense looked good. Offensively, they just kind of ran the clock a lot, hit Michael Pittman. Jonathan Taylor did, decent 78 yards or whatever he had.
Carson made some pretty solid throws. On the run, moving out of the pocket.
Yeah.
Hitting his guys in stride. He didn't look bad.
I think the biggest thing with the Cardinals is that they just could not get set on offense and get into a groove, and Kyler Murray looked uncomfortable in the pocket.
Kyler is missing Hopkins.
Yeah.
Big time.
Well, how much do you think it impacted of James Conner not playing?
I mean, Chase
big
Edmonds
time.
Chase Edmonds stepped
He had a
into
good
that
game,
role
but
really well, though.
Yeah, but I feel like he wasn't really getting those, like, early down gashes.
I don't know. Chase Edmonds had the stats to prove it. I think he played really well. I think a lot of it just had to do with, Kyler Murray just trying to find his number one option.
Yeah, other than Hopkins, who's the number 2 there?
Christian Kirk technically leads the team in receiving.
So you got Christian Kirk,
AJ Green,
Zach Ertz.
Rondale Moore was out as well at this past game.
Yeah, missing James Conner too.
Chase Edmonds had a big reception game technically for the Cardinals too yesterday.
Yeah, they like to use those backs.
Yeah,
like that.
Well, I just want to know, what are you guys' opinion on the Cardinals right now?
I think they're frauds, and I'll tell you why. I think, I looked at a graphic yesterday. I think they were like, 900. No, maybe it was like 850 in win percentage in the months of like September, October, and then once November, December hits, they're like 500, if that. They're just not a good team later in the season, and that's their identity, and that's been known since last year and the year before that. And I don't think it's Kyler Murray. I just think it's the attrition of the league,
They're definitely just missing something. I think Kyler's electric.
As the year goes on, they just don't have what it takes to adapt and survive.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. Kyler's electric. He's going to put up big numbers, but he's not that kind of quarterback that you put the game in his hands and he's going to go out and win it for you, regardless of injuries, things they got to overcome in the game. You're down, got to have a comeback, make those drives. I think he will get there one day. He's just not that yet.
I don't think Kyler Murray is a good quarterback to come back. He's a great quarterback to get up and stay up.
Yeah.
If he's down, I don't trust him.
Well, he's not a traditional passer, He's good scrambling. We saw that long run he had in the game.
It's pretty sweet.
And it's like he's doing all these things just like, this guy, much like Lamar Jackson, these guys are like one of a kind, but, you put him in.
I almost feel the same way about Lamar. He's just not that guy you can put the game in,
Yeah.
He puts up stats like his MVP year. It's because, like you said, one of a kind, put up crazy stats, but didn't they lose pretty early in the playoffs that year?
What was this, 2 years ago?
2018 or 2019?
Yeah, I don't recall specifically, but yeah, it's weird. Like, I wouldn't classify Lamar as a better passer than Kyler, but
No, me
I
neither.
feel like he's just better in clutch time. You know, we've seen a lot of times Ravens have been down. You know, the defense puts them in a good position to win the game.
Yeah.
Well,
And he
let's not
comes through in the
discount the
clutch.
Cardinals' offense. Their defense has been pretty atrocious in the past few weeks as well. They've given up a lot of points.
Yeah.
I mean, giving up 22, to the Colts.
Yeah, but
Like you said, Colts just they got up early. I'm
who
pretty
they
sure.
lose
right?
to
And
last week though?
who?
The
Lions.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a terrible
I mean
loss.
their defense has been non-existent. Chandler Jones doesn't even look like he's out in the field. Tyrann Mathieu not making any plays. I mean, obviously they're missing J.J. Watt, but
I think Chandler Jones
defensive-
had a sack today.
defensively they're not really
Well,
there.
Isn't Matthew on the
Oh, is he
Chiefs?
on the Chiefs?
Yeah.
My bad.
I think you're thinking of Buda Baker.
I am thinking of Buda Baker.
Budda Baker,
and they have
I'm pretty
Isaiah
sure-
Simmons too. I mean,
Yeah. Buda Baker is, I think he made the Pro Bowl, right? He's been pretty
Yeah, I'm
good at
pretty
his
sure he
position.
had a good game against the Colts too.
Yeah.
Just
they
Colts had the game in their, in what they were doing, what they wanted to do, playing their style of football, running the ball.
also, I forgot, Matt Prater missed 3 field goals or 2 field goals. Or
Yeah, that was terrible.
He missed an extra point. No, he missed an extra point and 2 field goals because I had him on fantasy. And if he's still there going into the postseason, I know he's been electric for them all year, but to do that in that type of game, because the
Kickers, man.
Colts was a big game, and they needed that win because now that they
Yeah.
lost,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Rams move up. The Rams are leading the NFC West now. The Cardinals had it made with the 49ers losing to the Titans,
Yeah.
and they could have predicted their own destiny by winning that game. So, I mean, the Cardinals, they're in shambles. They're not doing well, and I don't think they're going to do well to continue. They even might be in the 6th or 7th seed going into the wild card.
Yeah, I don't even know what's the playoff pictures looking like now
Right now, the playoff
after
picture,
all the games.
you want the
Current after today.
So NFC goes Green Bay, Rams, Bucks, Dallas, and Dallas hasn't. That win
That's
hasn't
without that.
registered, so they could actually jump up. Arizona, San Fran, and Philly. But I mean, also the Saints haven't played yet either because they play on Monday
Tomorrow.
night. So
I think the Saints will squeak in there.
they may.
Their
They
defense has been looking real good, but their quarterback position is just tough.
It's tough to get confidence to be behind someone when you don't know who's even playing. You know,
Right.
It's like Simeon and
may. I mean, Ian Book's playing for that game, so it's kind of up in the air.
right.
Who?
Ian Book, the rookie out of Notre Dame.
Oh man. Yikes.
Yeah, both Simeon and Taysom Hill.
No Book
Tested.
podcast.
Oh, COVID.
The No Book podcast. Yeah, COVID.
Tough.
Yeah, it's a shame for my Saints,
Simeon was hurt anyways though.
Simeon was looking good this season too.
Yeah, all
I mean,
right. I mean,
No,
better than Taysom Hill. That's
I-
for sure.
I
As
think
far as quarterback.
I think Simeon was really good. The problem is that a lot of the times that he was in, there was a lot of drop balls, and it wasn't his fault.
Yeah, that wide receiving
I mean,
core
yeah,
there
their
too
best wide
is
receiver is Deontay Harris. So,
tough.
next game we got today was the Lions at Falcons. Brendan, what was the score of that game? Obviously, the Falcons pulled it off.
Falcons did pull it off. 2016, they did not blow a fourth quarter lead.
Yeah, and it was looking
Good
like
for
they were
them.
going to.
Yeah,
Until the
it did.
Falcons got that interception late. I didn't really see much of this game, though. I mean, they didn't really have it on Red Zone that much.
Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say. Both I and Austin picked this game for the Falcons to win. I don't know if you guys have anything to touch on this. Otherwise, we can hit the next game.
Time for Matt Ryan to be done in Atlanta.
I will say,
Lions were on their second string quarterback too. Jared Goff didn't play, so tough there.
I will say there is one
Tim
thing
Boyle.
I got to
Tim
say about
Boyle.
the Falcons. Cordero
Tim Cody Mason ass. boy.
Stop it.
I will
I
say
knew you were gonna do it, dude.
Cordero
Shout out,
Patterson
Cody.
got snubbed in the Pro Bowl. That was one guy that
Yeah,
should
he
have
did
made
get
the
snubbed,
Pro Bowl
but-
over
Who is
Alvin
this?
Kamara. Cordero Patterson.
Cordero Patterson. He just had a
Oh.
year. But he only scored 8 points, and I'm heading to the championship game in my fantasy league. So,
You had to sneak that in there somehow, didn't you?
yeah, fucking of course, brother. You kidding me?
Love it. Austin, you have anything to say on this game? Just two teams.
Wasn't
you just
very
don't care
exciting.
about.
Lions suck. Yeah.
You're not
They
wrong.
looked good last week, man.
Amon St. Brown is actually playing phenomenally.
I personally think Jared Goff is a below-average quarterback, but when he has those games, dude looks, pretty good. And Dan Campbell just seems to be like a hell of a coach.
Who do you think is better, Jared Goff or Nathan Peterman?
Jared Goff?
Yeah.
What kind of question is
Sorry, that's all right. I just wanted to know.
that?
Because the
Now
Raiders
you
almost
know.
had to put in Nathan Peterman today.
That would have been terrible for the Raiders.
Stop looking at my Peter, man.
Who did they not? They didn't have to? Did Derek Carr come back? I thought
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I was too focused
Austin, you have
on winning
anything
my
else?
fantasy
No.
matchup.
Gotcha.
Please take us away.
Next game we got Ravens at Bengals. Absolutely electric game for the Bengals today. I
Yeah,
think
Joey
it was
B went off.
41-21.
Joe Burr.
Correct.
Yeah,
my-
41-21 Bengals.
Joey Burrow with 525 yards. How many touchdowns? Four? Five?
Four.
Four touchdowns. He had like 500 something.
525, yeah.
525.
Yeah, I think it was
Crazy.
fourth most in NFL history. Absolutely electric. He was just slinging the ball in the fourth quarter.
Majority of that went to fucking T. Higgins.
TD Higgins, they call him in Cincy.
You would have ended up losing to me in the championship game. Anyways,
damn.
so.
I guess we'll never know.
Electric game.
Another COVID, situation.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Ravens on their third string quarterback. I mean,
Tyler Huntley and Lamar Jackson out.
who the heck was throwing the ball for him
Josh
today?
Josh Johnson.
Johnson. Sounds like a NASCAR name. Shout out Danny NASCAR.
Shout out Danny NASCAR. I think
Josh Johnson making another left-hand turn.
I think Josh Johnson has like the most starts for different teams.
Yeah, I think I saw that graphic.
It's like
too.
him and Fitzpatrick probably are up there as the
fucking-
most.
He also didn't play a bad game, though. He had 2 touchdowns, like 275.
Didn't he have a couple interceptions?
Yeah, I would put that one as inflation just because of how the score went.
I get it, but
Anyone who had the over in this game cashed out for surely.
you had to
Money.
know that the Ravens were going to win this or lose this going in with, obviously both Huntley and Lamar Jackson out.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
defensively they look pitiful. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, insert any other Bengals name here. We're just running
Joe Mixon.
buck wild on the Ravens
tough.
secondary.
Joey B was spreading the ball around today.
Yeah.
Dude's legit. Not that I didn't think he was before this, but you don't see scrubs doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
He
I
had a
mean,
little bit of
Although they
motivation
did say
today.
that Matt Schaub was one of those quarterbacks that had a game like that. I think
Oh,
he was
really?
like third, yeah, for the Texans, and I was like, okay.
He had a little bit of
Yeah.
motivation today. The Ravens defensive coordinator, I think, said don't go putting a gold jacket on him before the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that, and
one of those little
he
jinx
picked him
quotes.
apart.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, he's out there. He's Joe Burrow, probably big menage a trois guy throwing balls out to anyone who's catching.
you got to respect the drip, my guy. Respect the drip, Kyle.
I have a question.
Answer.
We got an answer.
I just had it, and I may have lost it.
Austin asks his question.
I mean, you can ask at any point. I'm here for the next hour, so.
I had it in my head, and
When
then
it comes
you
to
guys
you-
were talking.
Tyler's here till 4:30
Had something
PM
with
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow,
Did Joe Burrow
Bengals. Oh,
got it.
Tyler and I
Yeah.
have been very critical on
Yeah.
the AFC North,
Yep,
saying they're a fraudulent division.
they are.
I wouldn't say a fraudulent division.
I disagree.
Well,
I think Ravens without Lamar. I mean,
I disagreed, Brendan, 100%.
the entire division. I mean,
Yes.
Bengals just put up 41.
they just keep beating each other, and they have good wins. They have bad
Bengals
losses.
are 9-6.
Okay, but my thing, obviously, I picked the Ravens in this game because I thought, this is how the
Well,
AFC
you also
North is
didn't
going
know
to shape
how the
out.
quarterback situation was going to end.
Right, I
I'll
picked
give you the
it,
benefit of the doubt. on
which
that one.
didn't even happen because Danny NASCAR never aired our, last week episode of the No Look
Danny.
Shout out
podcast.
Dan.
Why
Tyler
didn't-
stays up until 12:30 p.m. EST.
I had to fucking take a plane ride the next day.
Dude's
Plane ride.
having fucking red eyes on the red eye.
I had to work at 6.
Okay, back to the.
Fraud. AFC North fraud.
Real then.
Combo.
Do you think the Bengals are like legit the team in that division?
Yeah, I do. I think. Well, obviously Lamar's hurt, right? He's not COVID.
No, he's hurt.
Right, he's hurt. So without Lamar, Ravens aren't going to do anything. Browns, Baker threw 4 picks against Green Bay. They're not a legit playoff team. And
Steelers
are
got blown
terrible.
out. Yeah.
Big Ben needs to retire. They should have drafted a quarterback 3 years ago. Named Mason Rudolph.
I see 3 teams better than the Bengals right now, and they're directly behind them: the Bills, the Colts, and the Patriots.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would argue that.
I don't. Well, I mean,
I just
the Bills
meant,
are
like,
sitting ahead of them.
does
right
this
now.
win-
Okay, I got you.
Well, right. I wasn't too specific, I guess. I was saying, does this win propel them to, like, unanimously the best team in that division right now?
Yes.
I would say it does. I honestly, and just like Brendan said, regardless of if Lamar Jackson's playing or not, I don't think this Ravens team is that great. You know, they're very inconsistent. I feel like the only consistent player that they've had all season is Mark Andrews. Their run game is obviously consistent. You know, they have guys that are rushing in the ball.
Oh, boy.
With Devontae and whatnot.
Live update.
Uh-oh. Are we playing?
Dallas defense touchdown block punt.
Oh, shit.
That's big, bro. What's the
I'm
score?
not dead yet.
What's the
He
score?
loves football again.
Queensberry League, oh boy. I'm down 90-92. And in the Friend League, I think Friend League might be over, honestly.
Yeah, I mean.
135, 147. If Gibson get another touchdown, sorry. But Cowboys D, literally the MVP of both my teams this year.
Do you feel good about that?
Dalton Schultz with 22 points.
Yeah, I do, because I think that's a step in the right direction. You know, traditionally, I've been a streaming type of guy, you know, pick up, drop defenses, see who they're playing each week. However, the Cowboys defense have shown me enough positive things that, like, I kept them on my team, and they've scored multiple, like, 20-point games throughout the year, and I kept them on my roster. Got me to 2 semifinals, so I'm going to say, yeah, that's definitely something I'm proud about, honey.
Defense wins championships, and they also win fantasy matchups.
Exactly.
Well, back
It's
to
definitely important. I mean, I've had Denver and Cleveland on my team all year, and you get top 10 defense, you know, you're going to get points out of them. You might as well stick with them.
Well, back to what I was saying, I think that the Bengals are good. I don't think that they're great yet.
Yeah, like, I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender this year. Their defense is pretty solid, though. They got 2 of those edge rushers. You guys know their names by any chance?
For what?
I think Hendricks is one of them.
Hendricks, edge rushers.
For who?
Bengals.
Oh, yeah, Hendricks, yeah.
And another guy.
94
They
is...
both have had a sack in, like, 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
I see the Bengals...
Not too many,
I
like,
see them winning, like, a
star
playoff
defensive
game.
guys.
I see them in Wild Card Weekend. They're probably going to be, you know, home field advantage, but they're going to win, maybe. Maybe.
Right, they'll
It's
win a
gonna be hit or
playoff game.
miss.
But they're not
Maybe.
going to...
I don't know, because the Bengals are that team that it depends on what Bengals team you're getting. I mean, if
Yeah, they've had a couple off weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't trust them. I think if this team stays together for the next 3 years, this team could be easily a Super Bowl contending team.
Yeah.
Offensively, they're phenomenal. They have probably the best wide receiver core in the league.
Good young
Joe
coach.
Burrow is fucking phenomenal. Yeah, their coach is young. Their GM is young. I mean, they're probably going to draft some guys offensively on the line and also defensively to help out. I do love the future of this team. This year, though, I do think that the Bills and the Colts and the Patriots have a better shot than.
I mean,
them
I
in
would
the
even
playoffs.
say, let me see.
Yeah, sure. Just go ahead. Take it. I mean, he's got astigmatism. He's got to put.
I would even say, like,
He got
if-
2
I feel like if you
phones,
saw New
one for the
England.
scores and one for
You
the
said
won.
New England.
I did.
Okay, my bad. You don't want to see the Chargers in the playoffs either.
It's not going to happen January 9th. The Raiders are going to take him out.
Oh, boy. Well, I mean,
that game was electric, though. Fun to watch. A lot of points.
I think the funnest thing is that Joe Burrow showed how good Joe Burrow was with the 525 yards.
Yeah, he's dropped a steamy dump on them today.
I mean, to do that in the NFL, I don't care who you are. Like,
That's
Yeah,
impressive.
that's impressive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Next game we got Rams at Vikings. The Rams beat the Vikings today. What are you doing with that football?
Rams 30,
It's one in my hands.
Vikings 23. Jalen Ramsey shut down Jefferson. Well, he still had
Slightly.
from what he's been producing, you know.
I mean,
Jalen
Dalvin Cook was
Ramsey contained him for sure.
Right.
Dalvin Cook was out. That was
Adam
big.
Thielen got hurt.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins still stinks.
Madison played decent, but I mean the biggest thing is Vikings defense intercepted Matthew Stafford 3 times.
Oh yeah, Stafford looked terrible. He has these games, man.
He kind of reverted back to his
He's had like
lying
4 of these
self,
this year.
you know, and it's kind of funny to see that because, in my opinion, and Austin could disagree with this, but I think Matthew Stafford is a Hall of Fame quarterback. I think the guy statistically is one of the best of all time.
Well,
I know you guys could disagree.
Well, I admitted this year, I said if Kupp breaks the all-time record, that's a very good, focal point of,
A good quarterback.
getting him into the Hall of Fame of saying he has been the quarterback for the top 2 receiving seasons in NFL history.
I will say, I think this season
Calvin Johnson and Cooper Kupp.
I will say this
point.
season has a lot to do with where Matthew Stafford's going to finish Hall of Fame wise, because this is a team that Von Miller is a free agent next year. Odell Beckham's a free agent next year, so they have a lot of guys that they're going to lose. They need to win, and they need to win the Super Bowl for Matt. So if Matthew Stafford wins the Super Bowl this year, you think he's a Hall of Famer?
Oh, I think if he wins the Super Bowl, I'd even say if he has a couple decent playoff pushes in the next couple of years with the Rams, that helps him out tremendously. It's just I don't even know. Has he ever made the playoffs?
He doesn't have any playoff wins,
Certainly no playoff wins,
but he's made the playoffs a couple times. Yeah,
right.
With
I mean,
Calvin Johnson,
you got to get at least a playoff win.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously Tyler said I kind of give him a little bit more critique. I'm harsh on him, but at the same time, like, statistically, he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't
Dude's
know.
a
Hall of
gunslinger,
Fame
though.
is like, that's
I mean,
that's the pinnacle.
You got to think, and not like a discredit to him, but in Detroit, they were always down. The guy was throwing the ball. I mean, he's probably thrown had 40 pass attempts in a single game, more than anybody else ever. Not that that's like, discrediting him. Like, he's a gunslinger. Dude can throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, what you're saying, and this is how I feel about Derek Carr. The more Derek Carr throws the ball, just like Matthew Stafford, I feel the better he will get as the game goes on. He needs to heat up. The more he throws the ball, the better he's going to be.
Right. He's not going to be one of those dudes who has, like, 17 of 23 game with 3 touchdowns.
You
or
give
something.
Matthew Stafford 25 opportunities to throw the ball, it's probably not looking good. You give him 51,
So
it could possibly
He didn't
really
look good today, though.
No, looked
I mean,
terrible
they snuck
today.
out the win.
But what do we think overall, like, for the season? How is the Stafford McVay dynamic gone?
I love it. I think it's
been a success. I mean, they're 11-4 now.
Not asking.
Yes,
That's,
yep,
yeah,
yep.
they're 11-4
Yeah.
now. I mean, Jared Goff was terrible.
I mean, I think they'll definitely win the division. It's just an interesting dynamic. Stafford, good quarterback, whether he's Hall of Fame or not. McVay, great, like, offensive coach dynamic.
Yeah, players love playing for him.
Sometimes it's like you feel like he almost tries to do too much.
Yeah.
Maybe in this offense he's like trying to do too much with Stafford, where it's like they went to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff as the quarterback, running a specific type of offense. Basically, they have the same team, if not more players, defensively, if not.
Defensively,
I mean, he had Todd Gurley then. I mean, when Todd Gurley didn't have
Right.
80-year-old knees.
Yeah, I mean, Todd
He
Gurley
was
did
running the
okay,
ball
but
like
it's like
25 times.
Daryl Henderson has done just as good, if not better.
And they're
Sony
possibly getting
Michel,
Cam Akers
Todd
they
back.
might
Gurley
get
was killing
Cam
it
Akers
then.
back.
They're getting Cam Akers. They'll have Daryl Henderson. They'll have Sony Michel. Bobby Trees will be out though, unfortunately. I love Bobby Trees. Cooper Kupp absolutely having an electric year though. Odell Beckham, I feel like he's revamped his career with Sean McVay. Sean McVay has really been a reviver of getting Odell Beckham into a situation where he could possibly get open. He scored a touchdown today.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're in the right direction. I don't know their next 2 games, but I mean they're second in the NFC right now. So
I mean,
Yeah, they're good.
are we rooting for OBJ to get a Super Bowl?
I'm more
I
rooting
could
for
care less
Matthew
about
Stafford.
OBJ. He's such a diva.
Really?
I mean,
And he's sus. He's very
a little
sus.
sus.
I don't really care for the guy. I don't think he's terrible. I could care less if he wins the Super Bowl.
I'm more looking for
It'd be cool to see Stafford.
Stafford.
Same with
Von
McVay.
Miller
I mean, I
already
like
won.
McVay.
Yeah. I'd say Stafford, Von Miller, probably up there.
Yeah, Von Miller. Aaron Donald, too. I'd like to see him get one.
Yeah. He's, been, a perennial best defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, hoping for the Packers, to be there representing the NFC in the Super Bowl, winning it. Yeah.
Not me.
I mean, Minnesota is 7-8 now, so they're pretty much almost out of the playoffs, regardless of what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we're
the Washington football team 6-8. They're down by 1,000 right now. Atlanta's 7-8. Minnesota's
down bad.
7-8. New Orleans is 7-7, playing on Monday night, like we aforementioned. But when you're under 500, you need the world to go in your favor. So Minnesota's practically out. They got the Packers next week, right?
Yeah.
More than likely, that game's going to be a slam shut
Vikings
door
are
in the
out.
face. Where the Rams are 11-4, second in the NFC, like I said. Next game we got Bills at Patriots, AFC East. Big matchup.
Yeah, big matchup. We got. I'm sorry.
You're good. Of the game that they had the other day. Are you good, man?
What?
What are you doing, Roger Staubach? You throwing the ball to yourself?
Yeah.
He's enjoying himself.
I'm doing a
brother.
little toss and catch.
I'm trying
having
to
a catch.
focus on thinking about
You're
what I'm
good.
saying, and I'm thinking the ball's going to come hit me in the
You're
face.
good.
You got quick hands, bro.
I got the darts, baby.
Hey,
Okay.
we're just here having
Keep
fun,
going.
T.
I get it, but
We can have fun. So, real quick, while this is going on, final score 33-21. This game, I believe, decided that division. Because they tied.
Tyler's getting
They tied their two matchups 1-1. Pats won the last one, but I believe the Bills have some sort of tiebreaker.
well, the Bills
within that
divisionally
division.
are 4-1, where the Patriots are 3-2. So they
Right.
I think
That's the
based off who they face next. They already win their division, the AFC East or something like that, or they clinch.
Bills.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they clinched. They haven't clinched yet. I don't know.
I don't know
they
what
said
that schedule's looking like moving
Yeah.
forward, but
But
pretty sure
Well,
Bills.
Bills have probably the easiest schedule, I feel like.
they have the
remaining.
Jaguars, I think. No, they have the. Fuck, who they have?
I can.
They have Jets, Dolphins. Like, one of them is divisional, and it's not the Patriots.
Yeah.
I want to say they've only played the Dolphins once.
So it's probably Dolphins and then someone else who's dog shit.
They have the Falcons and then the Jets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where the
Falcons, Jets. Yeah, I mean,
fuck.
is that in Atlanta? Atlanta stinks.
Yeah, I think it is in Atlanta. Where the Patriots have the Jaguars, Dolphins. So you had it the opposite.
Oops.
Revenge game for the Bills. Obviously, they lost that game in Buffalo
Yeah.
where the winds were 60 miles per hour. They only threw the ball 3 times. So I feel like this was a lot of we're gonna get back to our actual offense. They were
Right. Let's
they
have
were-
a real game
Yeah,
where
Josh
there's not
Allen-
40-mile-per-hour winds.
He got out there. He was throwing the ball. He was getting into Trayvon Diggs. Singletary looked pretty good, in
Yes,
this
he
game.
did. He was on my fantasy team.
They got the ball late to Dawson Knox on that last touchdown. Defensively, they only held him to 3 touchdowns. Granted, it was Damian Harris scoring all 3 of them, but
Yeah.
they kind of shut him down in Gillette. And I think this was a big statement game for the Bills because they needed it.
Yeah, I mean, Patriots aren't any scrub of a team this year either. So that was a big win,
I mean, as long as you got Belichick, you can never really count them out.
Yeah, exactly.
Mac
Jones.
Mac Jones, he's shown his, vulnerabilities, like
What was that?
vulnerabilities.
Can you spell that for us?
VULNER.
All abilities.
Vulnerabilities.
BILATIES. Vulnerabilities in that offense. However, Belichick has done a good job this year, I feel like, of not putting him in like too many positions to fail.
Yeah.
Right? They haven't really gone for it on 4th down a lot. They've run the ball pretty well. Damian Harris, again, in a loss, had a good game, like 3 touchdowns. They only passed 3 times in that win against the Bills. It'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah. Belichick for Coach of the Year, depending how they end up. Maybe.
He's one of
what,
those
did they
guys
win,
where
like
it's like
6 games last year.
I think
it's tough to put him there just because of his like
Right,
Coach
you
of
his
the-
expect,
standard.
Coach
yeah,
of the
you
year has to be
expect.
Matt LaFleur this year if they continue to win. Like
Mm.
the guy's only lost
Oh.
9 games in the past 3 years. I think he needs one more win, right, to own the most in your first 3 years of coaching, most wins.
Probably. Well, I don't
think
know.
it's one more. I think he tied this game, but
Hmm.
I think the Patriots lost on purpose. Well, I don't think they lost on purpose. Let me rephrase that.
Please do rephrase
I think
that.
they knew that they didn't need to win this game because of
feel
their,
like this
their
was
future
a-
schedule. They didn't need to go all out,
division
hurt
game?
themselves. Yeah, but I mean now they're sitting in 6th place. I think they're exactly where they want to be because they control their own destiny. They have the Jaguars and Jets, right? Or the Jaguars and Dolphins. Jaguars, that's going to be a dumpster fire. They're going to absolutely dismantle them. The Dolphins, I think, are frauds. I don't think they're as good as everybody thinks they are, regardless of them winning 6 or 7 games in a row. Look at their fucking schedule. Who in they face?
Well, 6 right now.
I just
but
don't
yeah.
think Bill Belichick's the type of guy to be like, oh, we got 2 easy games coming up, so this divisional game,
I don't
that
think
that
they need to
decides the
win it
division.
as bad as you think. That's all I'm saying.
That's a divisional game that decides who's going to win the division.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think Bill Belichick really wanted to win this game.
perhaps. I think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, because he wanted to win.
Maybe.
The fact that you said Belichick would throw a game is like
That's
don't think it's
absurd.
as
Does
completely
this guy watch
astronomical.
football?
I don't think it's as egregious as you think.
Raiders fan.
Is it Raiders? What fan is he? Raiders, Bucks, Saints.
I do like the.
He's getting a panther on his butt cheek next
I do
week.
like the Rams. I'm gonna get a tattoo on my thigh of a ram.
Oh,
Shout
yeah.
out Aries gang. It was a good game though. I don't think the Patriots were as good as they should have been, but
Yeah, well,
I think Belichick knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean,
But the
I agree
fact
with
that you
but
say
I don't
he's
think I don't
potentially
think you can lead up with
Purposely
lead-
losing the game.
I don't
I don't
think
think you could follow up
all I
you
said.
saying Bill didn't
And I said I
necessarily want to win
rephrased
this
it.
game
I
with.
said I rephrased it. I said didn't need to win.
That's absurd.
Didn't need to win is different than throwing the game.
Well, we'll agree to disagree.
All right.
Josh Allen was hyped up on the sideline this game. He's
For
over
what?
there just after like making a big play, scoring a touchdown. He's going up to every players that like weren't even on the field for the game, just hyped up, hitting people in the chest, screaming in their face, like, passionate, just fucking hyped.
Are you happy to see that?
Yeah, I was.
Why is that? Why
I
are you
hate
happy?
Patriot fans.
Oh, gotcha.
Live poll: is the Bills' defense better or worse with Jordan Poyer not drinking?
He needs to fall off the wagon, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a
on the
He
thing.
needs
wagon
to
or
get
off the
back
wagon?
on the Buffalo wagon.
He needs to fall off the wagon
No, yeah, he
But
said it
do you
right.
circle the wagon when you get off of it?
if you're a Buffalo Bill.
Those are two different.
There's too many wagons going on here.
What wagon is you falling off of? The one that you
The
circle? or
sobriety
just the-
wagon.
Okay.
They say like
No, I'm
Right,
not
yeah.
fucking with you.
Falling
I
off
know,
the
I
wagon
know
with me.
exactly. There's an episode on Seinfeld where they're saying off and
Oh,
on
okay.
the
Well, I
wagon.
didn't
Oh,
watch
big
Seinfeld
Seinfeld
a lot.
Yeah,
guy
big
now.
Seinfeld guy. Next game we got-
2021. This guy's just watching
It's on
Seinfeld for the
Netflix,
first
my
time.
guy. I mean,
Oh.
fucking culture yourself.
I've seen Netflix plenty of times.
I've seen Netflix.
or Seinfeld. I mean.
Have you seen Netflix?
Austin watches Netflix.
Yeah.
He does.
Next game we got
I do Netflix.
The Witcher, good show.
absolute stinker of a game. Jaguars at Jets.
Dude, game of the week.
Game of the week, and was this
Kidding?
the game for who was going to get first overall pick in the NFL draft? Because
No.
the Jaguars fully solidified themselves of getting the first round draft pick at 2-13, where the Jets are 4-11, tied with the Houston Texans, which we'll get into.
No, I think
Oh
it
yeah,
was
I
actually-
guess so. You could say
It
that.
was,
because the
between them and the
solidified.
Lions.
Well, the Lions have that tie. They're 2-12-1, where the Jaguars are 2-13. So technically,
Right.
Jaguars.
Jags don't win another game.
I know
They
I
got-
said it last game, but did the Jaguars throw this game? To
Probably.
yeah.
Who's coaching right now for him?
No
one we care about?
It looks like Bill Nye the Science Guy. I don't know.
Bill,
I mean,
Bill.
doesn't look like him, but I don't know who's coaching them. It's some guy that looks like a 7th grade science teacher.
I mean, yeah.
Play of the game, I will say, Zach Wilson scoring like a 70-yard rushing touchdown. That was the cool part, I guess. Jaguars just absolute trash.
Yeah, it was a nice play. I still think Zach Wilson is just bad.
They don't have any offensive line, though.
Do you think he has
Plus,
too
no
much?
wide receivers to
Everybody's
throw to.
injured or COVID.
Braxton Berrios is his wide receiver 1 right now.
Do you think he has too much built-up testosterone because he's like?
Docking.
Well, isn't he like full-on
Docking. No.
Mormon or something?
Yeah,
Like,
docking.
He went to BYU, yeah.
he doesn't.
Docking means what? Not having sex?
Well, no. Docking means something else.
What is
I'll
it?
look it up on Urban
What is
Dictionary.
it when?
Yeah, I'm not gonna listen. If your boy Yo Soy is not gonna disclose the definition of docking, you know it's bad. If you're 18 plus, look it up on Urban Dictionary.
What is
but
it that
Youngsters don't.
I'm not gonna say
What
it.
is it that they say that they do though at BYU? It's like
Anal.
no.
This guy.
Butt sex isn't
No,
losing
it's
your
not.
virginity.
It's not that. It's like I don't even know.
You
how
can't
to
get her
explain
pregnant if she swallows your kids.
It. Okay. Next game we got.
At least some people know that.
Next game we got Giants at.
The other
Eagles.
ones are on 16 and pregnant.
It's weird though, because I feel like Mormons always have like 17 children.
Well, once
Well,
they
they
can
have
sex at some
17.
point.
No, I get that, but they always
Once
just
they're
go
married.
absolute buck
They have
wild.
17
Yeah,
wives.
I mean, if they hold out.
Yeah, but no, I mean like even with one wife, they have 17 kids.
And that's what's gonna happen to Cody, you know, because once you get it, man, they're just gonna keep.
He's
Kinda
he's building up the fucking juggernaut. That shit's about to pop.
What'd you say? You said something really funny earlier, referencing once he finally does the deed.
Oh, I said he's gonna shoot out like it's gonna be strong as a fucking Spider-Man web.
Yeah, you were-
He's
yeah,
gonna be
that's
out here.
Sorry, Cody.
Yeah. Spider-Man.
Go
No
check
way
it out in
home.
theaters.
Yeah.
Next game we got Giants at Eagles. Eagles beating the Giants in an NFC East matchup. Brendan, what was the score of that game? It was over
Giants-
9.5 because I won that spread.
Giants 10, Eagles 34.
You love to see. Jalen Hurts did nothing in the first half, came out in the second half, throwing touchdowns, dimes, rushing it. Miles Sanders out.
Wow, with a hand. What a fucking pussy.
But, I mean, the biggest news was the Giants absolutely did nothing that game. So, really
Well,
not much to say. It's just how it's been going all season for the Giants.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean-
Danny Dimes not in. They started out with Jake Fromm, first off.
Went to Fromm, then they went to
Fromm.
Glennon.
You know what's bad?
Saquon was
Glennon.
out.
You know what's bad when you take out who you started to put Mike Glennon in. And not for an injury reason, right? Jake Fromm did not get hurt or anything. They just simply, he stunk.
I think so.
So you're like, all right, this guy stinks. I think Mike Glennon will do better.
Yeah.
You're in a bad situation.
Well, we're talking about like playoff picture.
Playoffs?
Playoffs. Everyone's talking about like, your destiny is in your own hands. The Eagles, they play the Washington football team next week. Finish with the Cowboys. I think if they win out, they're guaranteed a playoff spot.
Most
Yeah,
likely.
they're 8-7 right now, which
Yeah.
is crazy to think.
I mean, it would be interesting. I don't really have much to say about it. Like, obviously, Sanders going down.
Yeah,
Probably
Boston
a big
Scott's
part
scoring
of
a
it.
touchdown. Loser.
He still won the fantasy
Yeah, you're right.
matchup.
I'm still,
Don't be mad
I'm still going
about
with
it.
championship.
But no, it'll be interesting. Like, they called the touchdown back for Devontae Smith.
No,
right?
that was a
They
touchdown.
they
They
called it a
confirmed it.
touchdown.
Then they
reviewed it
And
said it
then
wasn't, and
double
then went back.
reviewed it.
Yeah, double reviewed. I've never seen that in the NFL.
I
It's like the
mean,
double doink, but in a good
Oh
way.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have to go there.
no,
We do.
they don't pay the referees enough money. But it'll be interesting to see how the Eagles do.
I mean,
because
obviously, the refs wanted the Eagles to win.
Their
so.
their offensive line is very good. Obviously, they have Kelsey, a
big
bunch of
names.
other
Contract year.
guys.
Lane Johnson
Scored a touchdown.
Jordan Howard, I think he went out of the game as well. So it's like,
I do believe.
how are they
that.
going to run the ball if they don't have their top two guys there? That'll be my
I mean,
main
they still
question
got
mark.
Just
Kenneth
throw-
Gainwell and Boston Scott.
Just throw one of those
pretty-
fucking clubs on Miles Sanders' hands and just have him run the ball. Nobody's punching that motherfucker.
Well, that dude's
out.
been dealing with like an ankle injury for a while. Got healthy, and then last week he had a quad problem throughout the week. He was questionable all week, and then was gonna play, and then hurts his hand. So what a pansy.
I will say every former Penn State grade in the NFL this season has been very bad or injured. Chris Godwin out.
Not every.
Chris Godwin got out.
Not Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons.
Yeah. Now I'm kind of concerned. I'm going to knock on wood for Micah Parsons, hoping that doesn't happen.
You jinxed him.
Yeah, he's
But,
done.
I mean, Gesicki,
Oh, update. Micah Parsons out.
Barkley, Sanders, I mean, shit, you name it, they've been bad.
Pat Fryermuth.
Pat Fryermuth had COVID
He's
this
out.
week. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was hurt.
No, maybe. I thought he had COVID. But
I thought I saw something, a concussion protocol.
possibly.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of former Penn State great Chris Godwin, the Buccaneers. Really.
Good,
Is that
good
one
transition.
I
transitioning
tried
into?
to as
That
much
was
as I
good,
possibly
man.
could.
No, that was good.
Bucks at Panthers. Brendan, what was the score? I know I won this one with the spread. Over
This was
10.
a slaughter. 32-6.
Yeah, I feel like the Bucks finally got back after. I was at the game. Austin, don't mean to rub it in.
Which one, though?
Bucks at Saints Sunday Night Football. Absolutely fucking gross game. 9-0. Bucks lost Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Leonard Fournette. Insert name here was out.
Yeah.
Kept getting injured. It was a defensive game, but the Bucks finally got back to it. You know, getting it done offensively. Antonio Brown's first game back had a big game.
Yeah, it did.
They played really well. I mean, the Panthers are just bad. So at the end of the day, it was a game that needed to happen, and that should have happened.
Cam Newton needs to retire. I'm sick of
I
watching
agree
him play
with
football.
that. He should literally retire.
Really sick of watching him play football.
I'm not sick of him playing football. It's just the fact that he's not good.
Right.
He had one game where it's his first game back. Obviously, the fucking testosterone's boosting through the veins, and you know you're feeling yourself. But
I mean, he had one rushing touchdown, and he's screaming,
well,
"I'm
And
he
a
back."
also had a
passing.
passing touchdown.
Well, that's surprising because he's got a noodle for an arm.
It didn't look like it that pass. But again, testosterone through the veins.
Right.
You know, I agree. He needs to retire. They need to get. But at that point, like, who are they gonna get? You know, they
Right, I
spent
mean, they
so
need
much
to-
money on Sam Darnold.
They did. That's
Like, Sam
unfortunate for
Darnold
them.
is
Sam
on their-
Darnold is not the guy.
Sam Darnold is on their payroll for 4 years or 3 years or something like that.
That stinks.
The GM of the Panthers, you think the Raiders GM is bad, Mike Mayock? Panthers GM really fucked it up with Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Austin, anything on this game? Fuck the Bucks. I know you're gonna
Bucks
say
look
that.
good. I mean, Tom Brady, tons of injuries, and they still came out. Rojo was running the ball good. Who was that? Keyshawn Vaughn.
Keyshawn Vaughn.
Right. He had a nice
Rookie.
touch. Rookie? Oh, I didn't
Pretty
know
sure
that.
he's a rookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had that nice run. AB was catching balls.
AB had 10 receptions. First game
Yeah.
back.
I mean, the
Yeah.
only thing I'll say is, like,
Fuck the Bucks.
besides
Just
fuck
say
the
it.
Bucks, it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. You know, obviously playoff Lenny, Rojo looked pretty good this week, but
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see if he can stay consistent. Like, anytime you have Brady back there, I don't care if he's like 80 years old, you know, he's still going to be eating his fucking avocado ice cream. He's going to be healthy. He's going to be able to throw the ball.
The thing with Brady, too, is
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who's out there. If he, you know, like that game against the Saints, all those injuries happened in game, and I feel like he struggled moving the ball. Like, I mean, clearly he got shut out. But if they can game plan knowing who is available, he's going to get the ball to whoever. It could be us three out there. I'll probably score 2 touchdowns.
Tackle eligible,
Yeah,
baby.
Quick first step.
Let me ask you this question. Bucks win this game. Obviously, Mike Evans is week to week. Lenny, I think, might be out for the regular season.
Yeah.
If
Both those guys are probably going to be back for playoffs.
Okay, well, this is my question. If you're the Bucks, do you sit out Mike Evans even if he's good to go for the rest
For
of
the
the
regular season?
Yeah.
I mean, they said it really wasn't that bad of an injury. I imagine they just sat him out this week just to be
He's
safe.
one of those guys where it's like he has a hamstring injury every week, so
I feel
I
like,
feel
he's
like whether you play him or
pretty
not, it's not
durable.
going to make a difference.
I mean, the
Durable.
Bucks have
I
the
mean,
Jets.
when has Mike Evans?
The Bucks have the Jets and
Mike
the
Evans
Panthers.
hasn't missed a lot of
going
time before.
forward. Jets and Panthers going forward. Obviously, they just dismantled the Panthers. And the Panthers is going to be at home. Jets is going to be in New York. So
If they don't need to, yeah. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be. It's not a bad
shut
idea.
down
Just
the whole
to,
team.
yeah, just nobody show up to the stadium at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, they'd probably still win against the Jets.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Zach Wilson probably still throwing an interception.
Next game we got actually one of the craziest scorings of this week was the Chargers at Texans. The Chargers losing to the Texans. Both me and Austin lost this one. We predicted. I mean, we're not going to go against the Chargers. You're not going to go, hey, the Texans are going to win this one this week.
Well,
it's kind of
probably,
like room
yeah.
for the fucking Lions, and then you
Yeah.
pick against them and they win. You know, that's just typically how it
I was
goes.
gonna say more so like we're not gonna pick the Texans.
Right. What was the final score of this game?
Final score 41-29.
Jeez.
Texans won.
Herbert had, I think, 2 interceptions. Or
Yeah, I believe 2.
I mean, they didn't have Eckler. Justin Jackson came in. He played a good game. He had 2
Ran the ball
touchdowns, I
well.
think. But they didn't have a lot of guys. A lot of people were out with COVID.
yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Mike Williams was out.
Who the fuck balled for the
Keenan
Texans?
Allen was out too, no?
Yeah, he was.
Was he?
I
Yeah.
think so. Who balled for the Texans? I mean, Davis Mills had to have like
Rex Burkhead.
Rex
Yeah.
Burkhead. How many touchdowns did he have?
Let me see.
At least 2, I think.
That
I know
bald
Nico
bastard.
Collins scored 1.
Get off Pornhub.
Get off.
I mean, I feel like this is more of a testament to like Davis Mills. You know, everyone has been saying like he's decent, he's not great. He came out against a playoff football team above 500, got the job done. I mean, they don't really.
Rex Burkhead, 22 rushes, 149 yards, 2 TDs.
Yeesh.
That's incredible.
Incredible.
I mean, for a guy named Rex.
And Brandon Cooks was out for the Texans too. I mean, they.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think this was more of a surprise. I mean, defensively, they lost Zach Cunningham. They traded him. So it's like, who do they have? You
They
know?
had Chris Conley, Brevin Jordan, Philip Dorsett, Chris Moore, and a bunch of other guys we've never heard of.
What was Davis Mills' stats in this game?
21 of 27, 254 yards, 2 TDs.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Pretty solid against
So
the
that's
Chargers
28
defense.
points. So what happened? I mean, who else scored all the points? Defensively, they must have scored a touchdown or something.
Hold on. Let me see. I can see who outscored.
I mean,
touchdowns.
it's really not that big of a deal at the end of the day. The Chargers got stood up. I mean,
Chris Conley caught one. Nico Collins caught one. Yeah, it must have been defense.
I mean, not really on point, but like at the same time, I feel like anyone who names their kid Rex is just setting them up to be fans of like dinosaurs and wanting to become a dinosaur, right?
He's a big fan of
I do like the name
T-Rexes.
Rex, though. I'm not gonna lie. That's a cool ass.
What
name.
is it? Is like
I don't like that name.
You
what's
don't like Rex?
No,
Wait,
I
what's-
mean, no. I guess I don't hate it, but I wouldn't name my kid it.
but what's like the formal government name of
Rex.
Rex? Is this Rex?
Yeah.
Is it Rexford?
Rexford. That actually is kind of cool.
Right? I think is that a name or am I
Rexford.
pulling that out?
Rexford
of
is a
shit?
place
is
in
a-
New York.
Yeah,
It's
it's
down by
literally
Clifton Park.
by Clifton Park.
Oh,
Yeah. You never
It's
been
like
to
it's in between like
Niskayuna?
Boston Lake and
Oh,
Clifton Park.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like,
Rexford would be a dope name. Rexford L. Cook.
but like you just
That would be
say,
like a name that is.
I'm gonna name my son Rex.
That's,
I wouldn't name my kid
That's like
Sid.
Austin's like great grandfather from the Civil War. Rexford.
Well, if we're talking about lineage, I
Rexford.
actually am a direct descendant of Aaron Burr,
Jesus fucking.
who had a duel
Yeah,
against
but-
Alexander
Yeah,
Hamilton.
Fucking lost.
Right.
Yeah, because he's a fucking coward.
Nobody
Well,
asked.
I've seen Hamilton. Fuck Aaron Burr.
Tyler dressed up as Hamilton for Christmas.
I would want to be more like Alexander Hamilton than Aaron Burr. I'll tell you that. Burr is a coward and a loser, and he doesn't stand for anything.
Sounds like the Raiders.
I mean, it sounds like you. I mean, you're related to him, not me. So the Texans beat the Chargers. Chargers are now
It was
below
crazy
the Raiders.
because it was like high scoring game. You know, it was just like Justin Herbert really did not look good. He threw the ball like 50 times, I think. So he had a lot of passing
had those
yards.
games though this season.
He has.
Last week he played really well, and then the next week it's always like iffy. You know,
Yeah.
you can't bank on him to be consistent. And I know I said on the podcast a few weeks ago that I would start my team. You know, if I was starting a dynasty with them, I probably would start it with Justin Herbert. But that is his one downfall, is he plays down to opponents and isn't consistent.
I
and
mean, he was out as top 2 wide
That's
receivers
it.
and running back.
that too. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean,
Yeah.
they still lost, which helps the Raiders. Next game we got Bears at Seahawks in the Winter Wonderland game of the week.
It was a winner wonderland.
we got Biggie Smalls in the building, the only Bears fan in upstate New York.
No,
What
Dave's
was-
dad.
Dan's dad.
Dan's dad.
What was, shout out TJ. What was the final score of that game? I picked this game, by the way, Austin. I did pick the Bears to win. Actually,
Hold
I picked
on,
on the cover.
I'm not seeing it.
I think it was 25-24.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah, it was 25-24. Yeah,
I mean,
it's not
Yeah, it
coming
was
up right
20.
here. It was
In-
25
in the
24.
who gives a fuck game of the week, the Bears versus the
Yeah.
Seahawks.
I mean, for most of this game, it was as exciting as a, no-name bowl game for college,
The Heineke Mud Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. It
About
was-
as exciting as a hand job past the age of 16.
I was going to say, I mean, there's a time, and jobs were sick.
Right.
Wow.
But, past that, I mean, not much to say. Big
It
Dick
ended up
Nick.
being pretty entertaining, though, coming down to the wire. Still, nobody cares because both teams suck.
Love a good snow game.
Yeah, good snow game. That was
That
cool.
was one of the first ones this season where
hate
the snow was
watching.
actually on the field.
I hate watching Nick Foles play for the Bears. If he was on some other team, might be all right. But
I will say, DK Metcalf, even though he caught that ball, I heard on the TV, one of the best wide receivers in the league.
no, I
Definitely
disagree.
not.
I mean, I don't think he's terrible. I think there's obviously his ceiling's pretty high. Dude's a physical freak. But
AJ Brown's better than that.
he caught that one touchdown. Yeah, I agree with that.
Some say
That
out of
one touchdown he
draft
had
that
was
the
against
best
a
guy out of
rookie.
Ole Miss.
That one touchdown he had was against a rookie who was starting his second game ever this year. So not very impressive.
No. Well, Bears won. So are you
Bears
happy?
won.
Yeah.
I'll be happy when Matt Nagy gets fired.
Nah, me too. Because then I won't have to hear you say it anymore.
I won't be
yeah.
happy because I wish he stays so the Bears keep sucking.
Next game we got Steelers at Chiefs. Probably the biggest blowout besides the game that's going on right now. Brendan, what was the final score of that game?
36-10.
Jesus Christ.
Talk about a snooze fest.
Absolute blowout. I mean, and honestly, the Chiefs scored all their points in the first half, and they didn't have Travis Kelce. Clyde Edwards-Helaire didn't really do much, but Tyreek Hill didn't do much. They just were
None of their guys,
facilitating
yeah.
the ball a lot, and the Steelers, I mean, it was just the Chiefs defensively looking good and matching up very well against Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, I mean, all I got to say is I'm all in on the Chiefs right now.
And I've been saying that. Although you picked against them this week.
Crazy. Their defense just went from awful to great within like a snap
I don't think
of-
it's
Yeah.
that crazy because
Tyrann Mathieu plays for the Chiefs.
I don't think it's that
Cardinals.
crazy though, Brendan, because in the beginning of the season, a lot of their guys were injured.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, they had a lot of guys that were out. Frank Clark was out in the beginning of the season. Tyrann Mathieu, as you said, was out early in the season. So I think a lot of it just had to do with attrition. They just weren't healthy, and now they're getting all their guys back. And
Did you say nutrition?
no attrition.
Oh, attrition.
Yeah,
I'm not sold.
their nutrients in their bones wasn't strong.
Yeah, I was
enough
gonna
because
say
they were out.
these guys
I'm
are
not
probably
sold that
pretty
they're like
nutritious.
the undisputed overall number one juggernaut team in the AFC.
Who? Ben Hill.
I think
Well,
they're the
you
best
say
team in the. I think they're the
undisputed.
best team in the AFC, but they're not like a juggernaut right now.
Mm.
Like I think there are some teams that could play well against them.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. Like to
Patriots,
say like
Bills.
undisputed, no matter what, they're gonna get that first round bye. I can
Yeah.
agree with that, but I will say if the road to the Super Bowl on the AFC side does go through Kansas City,
Right.
it's gonna be really tough for
No,
any
that's
other team to get
Arrowhead is one of those stadiums for surely. Like
Yeah.
I put them in the category of like Lambeau, even like Soldier Field. Not that the Bears have home field advantage ever in the playoffs, but
Well,
it's one of those.
0607, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say 06 happened, brother.
It's one of those places where it's like the home team definitely has an advantage. They know, the weather, the play
Yeah.
style that the
Especially
game has to go
it's an
through.
outdoor stadium, so weather can come into effect.
Right.
The crowd, if the field's in bad conditions, and it's a team that plays indoor in the South,
Well, okay. Quick question for you guys. Speaking of outdoor stadiums, do we enjoy like the weather conditions in like certain fields?
Yes.
Or should we feel like every stadium should be a dome?
No.
I think every stadium should be a hybrid stadium. And the home team decides on what they want to do, whether they open the dome or close it.
I don't know.
I just feel like the point of a hybrid is if the weather's bad, you close it.
Right, but
It's not
if
the
you're
team
the home
deciding. It's not like
I disagree.
It's not like, so say Buffalo in that game against the Patriots a couple weeks ago, if they had a hybrid dome, it's not like they'd just be like, oh, we're going to leave it open.
No, and
because-
that's their decision. If they're the home team, they can close it. And Josh Allen would probably be like, hey, I'm going to fucking close this because maybe I can actually complete a pass to Stephon Diggs.
Okay, so yeah, I guess, but I just feel like that's a weird advantage to
And then-
have because
yeah.
if you're playing a team
It's not, though.
who's you know Patriots are going to come in and probably run the ball better than you. Oh, let's close it so we can still pass the ball. But we're playing a Saints team who is used to playing in a dome. Let's leave it open. That's
Why
just
is
a
that-
weird
why
way
is
to
that so
have an
weird to you?
advantage.
Because there's teams in the NFL that have stadiums that have advantages that you don't even think about. The Dolphins, for instance, the sun is on this side of the field, so it shades the home side of the stadium.
Yeah.
And the Dolphins wear white, so they don't get as hot, where the other team wears darker colors, and they're getting smoked by the sun.
Right.
That's just a slight disadvantage based on the stadium.
But that's
all I'm saying.
That's
is-
every home game. It's not
Right.
Oh, we're going to decide if
And
this
they can
happens
decide
today or
that.
not.
I'm just saying, I think it's a cool way where a team can have it.
Right, but that's
decide on
like a fixed decision, you know what I mean? It's like gonna be that way for every game all season. It's not this specific game where it's not that hot out today, so it doesn't matter. We can sit in the sun because it's not that hot today.
If I'm the Bears and I'm facing the Cardinals and it's snowing out, I'm gonna fucking leave that fucking motherfucker open, and I'm gonna say Cardinals.
No,
you come in
I
here
get what you're
and
saying.
play in the snow because I don't think you're gonna beat us.
Yeah, I get what you're
Yeah, but
saying.
so why would a team ever choose not to have that?
It's to their discretion of if they want to have it open or not.
Yeah,
Right, but why?
You're pretty
Like-
much saying it could be optional, but if it's the home team, then they're obviously gonna choose the natural elements.
You're gonna try and win that game to your advantage in any possible way that you can. I mean, granted, if the Packers were facing the Vikings, it doesn't matter if it's open or closed.
Well,
it's
that's because
to their
Vikings
discretion.
play indoor.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. But if the Packers are facing the Dolphins, maybe they want to open the stadium that game. It's if you have the hybrid,
No,
you have the
I
option.
understand. I just think that'd be a weird way for a team to have an advantage.
But I mean, there's teams that have advantages already.
Right, but
in
it's
their
already
stadium.
a fix. Soldier Field's going to be open. You know what I mean? So they're going to have that advantage if they have that home field advantage.
Also,
Or
you
home
go
field,
into the stadium and they're like, you don't know getting off the plane if the stadium's going to be open or closed until you get to the stadium. And then you see, wow, they
That's
left
just
it
not
open.
real. That's not
I
realistic.
think it's a cool idea. I think you guys are discounting it a lot, but I mean that's you guys. So
No.
Well,
It's gotta be one or the
going
other.
back to your
I
original
disagree.
question, it was your question. I like weather games. I like weather having a factor in it. There was a lot of talk about this subject after that Bills-Patriots game. There was multiple people I saw commenting on social media saying all stadiums should be indoors so that this can't happen. I think that's stupid. If you grew up playing football, some of the most fun you ever had when it was raining,
Nah,
muddy, snow. You didn't enjoy those games?
no, I was usually on the bench.
Yeah, okay. That's
Playing in
depressing.
the fifth quarter.
Yeah.
But I always enjoyed playing in the elements. I think it's fun to watch. It's part of football. I think it always has been, and I think it always should be. Opinion, though, I mean.
Yeah. No, it's
I
part
don't
of
think you
football.
should be able to decide the day of without the other team
Right.
knowing
I think
what's
it would
going to be
cool.
happening. That just seems I don't know. It just seems weird.
No, I mean I was just asking because what's his name?
Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner went on record saying it should always be played in a dome just so everyone
Well,
has an equal playing field.
That's not surprising because he played in a
Right.
dome.
And he's an offensive guy, so obviously he wants the best conditions,
Right.
for him to succeed. But no, that's part of football, right? You
And-
go out there, it's
in
it's
all
rainy,
honesty-
it's snowy.
In all honesty, it's just for it's just
I can't
it's
look
just
at
for
you.
the divisional and conference games, anyways. For the Super Bowl, they already do that. They have it somewhere warm, so that you're not going to be playing
Not
in
necessarily.
snow.
They did have it in Minnesota.
Okay, they have it somewhere either warm or inside. This guy.
Well,
You guys watch this guy weekly?
Although it would be cool if Minnesota had a hybrid stadium, I will say.
Yeah.
Next game we got Broncos at Raiders. Absolutely electric game for me. 14-17. You don't even have to look it up.
Oh, really? 14-17?
yeah.
Weird, because it was 13-17.
13-17. It doesn't matter. The Raiders won. Derek Carr said in the end of the game, and I hate when he said this. He goes, well, it wasn't pretty, but I guess that's the way we like it, and that's how we won. Or something. I'm paraphrasing, but He said that multiple times this season. I fucking can't stand the way he says that.
Do that voice again for us.
I'm not gonna.
Sounded like a nerd.
Yeah, well, Derek Carr is a nerd. He needs to cut his hair. Go back to the fucking buzz cut.
Yeah, that looks really
Yeah,
bad on him.
he's got like the mullet. It's like a fucking slick back greaser look. I don't even know.
I don't know what he's doing with that. He looks terrible.
He's had it since October, and I mean, granted, he's statistically one of the best passing quarterbacks in the NFL. Look it up. So I'll let him do what he wants to do.
Remember when this guy was in here like after week 3, Derek Carr for MVP, he's leading the league in passing.
I mean, if the team was 12-3 or 12-4 or whatever, 13-3 like the Packers, I would say he should be MVP. But we did have someone
Team
kill
isn't that
someone.
good.
Darren Waller has been out. I mean, we don't have a lot of offensive weapons, that have been consistent. I mean, it's true. He did kill someone.
Oh.
He had to bring it back.
Yeah, I
he
mean,
just had to say.
the Raiders, this was a big game because the Chargers lost to the Texans. So the Chargers now are 8-7, just like the Raiders are. Broncos were 7-7. They lost. They're now 7-8. So now the Raiders are in the wild card spot in the playoffs because the Steelers lost to the Chiefs as well. So now they're
Right.
7-1. So this was a huge win, and I'll take it any which way it comes, regardless of how bad the Broncos are injury-wise, trading Von Miller, who's at quarterback. It was a good win for us, and we got the Colts next week, so I'm kind of nervous.
So talking about, you're talking about hybrid stadiums.
Right.
You're a hybrid fan.
I am.
Raiders,
Yeah.
Bucks,
Here we go.
maybe a little bit of the Saints in there.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Saints tomorrow.
How good do you feel about the Raiders' chances to make the playoffs?
Not great, honestly. Next week, like I said, we have the Colts, who just came off of a huge win against the Cardinals. They're looking really good, but I have seen the Colts play down the teams, and I don't know if we're gonna stop the run with Jonathan Taylor, but I think we can prevent Carson Wentz from, or maybe even facilitate Carson Wentz doing those stupid inherent throws and interceptions. So.
Yeah.
I think the Colts game, honestly, if I had to say, obviously I'm a little bit biased, but I think it's a 50-50 toss-up game for us to win, regardless of if it's in Indianapolis or not.
It's in Indy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a tough game. You guys, this was a big win, dude.
Huge win.
For sure. Talk about overcoming adversity just,
Right.
As a team.
And we've been doing it all season.
Right. I mean, just as a season as a whole, I mean, honestly, it's hard to believe you guys are 8-7.
I think I said at the beginning of the season, if we won 4 games, I'd be surprised. And we've won 8, and I'm seriously surprised because
Right.
defense isn't great.
Defense isn't great.
And
You
like
got
I
an
said,
interim
Darren
head
Waller's been
coach.
injured.
Darren Waller's been hurt.
Yeah.
Non-existent run game.
Well, Josh Jacobs had
Josh
127
Jacobs has had a
yards
pretty
today.
good year.
He fumbled the ball once, and Payne Barber scored a
You're
touchdown.
saying today it was non-existent?
I feel like collectively,
He's had like his best
Josh
year
Jacobs,
ever.
yeah, he's had a
this
really
year.
good year.
You watch football?
Yeah, dude, he doesn't watch the Raiders.
I don't watch the
All he
fucking
does
Raiders.
is shit on the Raiders. All he does is, the Raiders, how do you feel about them losing to the fucking Giants this week? Oh, thanks, Austin. I know they lost to the Giants.
It is weird though. I feel like
It's-
you don't
it's-
see Josh Jacobs like highlights. I feel like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
he'll have a good game. It's not really talked about.
because I think it's overshadowed by how much Derek Carr is passing the ball.
Yeah.
Because he passes the ball a lot. But the Raiders, the one downfall I will say with them is that they lose against bad teams. I mean, they lost against the Washington football team. They lost against the Giants. I mean, they lost. If they swapped those games and won them, I mean, we'd be talking they're almost in first place in the AFC West.
Yeah.
But losing those games off of last-minute mistakes, Josh Jacobs made a business decision against the Giants and said, hey, I'm not going to jump on that fumble. And then Travis Moring against the football team decided, hey, I'm not going to catch this interception. So, I mean, it's been a funky season. But
Weird season for you guys.
definitely glad that
I
they
mean,
won.
Broncos. I mean, it's still like
They're
they're
good.
not like a.
They're not good.
No, they're not a good team, but they're also not like they. I mean, they got some players,
They're
man.
frauds.
Like
I mean, they just don't have a quarterback at the end of the day.
Drew Lock. That's a guy.
Yeah.
He raps hip hop songs on the bench.
Yeah. Well, last game we got.
his ass thing.
Yeah,
Is
you
it?
never seen those clips? Yeah, obviously they'll be playing like a song in the stadium, and they'll like pull a camera on him, and he's over there just like jamming, like rapping
Damn, I
the
didn't
entire
know that.
song. Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, they got
Surprised
some.
you never seen that.
They
I've
got some
never seen
pieces like solid run game. Obviously, Javante.
I mean, their defense
Melvin
is.
Gordon. I mean, I was gonna say both of them, but like Sutton, Judy's definitely
They're not
proving himself.
They're
when
not
he's
like
healthy.
a bottom of the barrel. They're like mid.
Certain, yeah. If
Their
they had
defense,
if they had a
pretty solid.
quarterback, like I feel like they could be a good team in this league.
Yeah.
But the problem is that
That's why Aaron Rodgers wanted to go there.
this year there's
Supposedly.
not a lot of
Yeah.
good quarterbacks coming out in the draft. There's like, in my opinion, there's one, and it's Kenny Pickett. You know, you could say Malik Bridges or whatever his name out of Liberty is going to be like a diamond in the rough, or Malik Willis, excuse me. But I think Kenny Pickett's the only pick, and he's probably going to go, top 10. And unless the Broncos lose out, they're probably not going to get a top 10 pick.
No.
So
They're going to be in that same position next year.
yeah,
No quarterback.
And
some players on both sides of the ball.
I love to see it.
What
as a
happened
Raiders
to
fan, but
Kyle? Or not Kyle.
Brock Osweiler?
No, I'm having a brain
Was he a
fart. Got him.
quarterback?
No, cornerback. Got him from the
Kyle
Bears.
Fuller?
Yeah, Kyle Fuller. What happened to him? I feel
I
like
don't
Pretty
even
sure
know.
he's on the.
is he injured? Did he get injured early in the season?
Pretty sure he's on the Washington football team. He was playing today.
That's a different dude. I'm pretty sure.
Is it another Fuller?
Yeah,
Oh, Kendall
I'm pretty
Fuller,
sure.
Maybe?
yeah. I think that's the dude on Washington.
I'm not
I don't
sure.
even know.
I don't care about former Bears greats.
I'm just saying. Like, I remember when Bears got him. That was going to be a huge addition to their defense. In their secondary, they got some pretty good edge rushers, middle linebacker.
I mean, they're in a tough division. It's going to be
Vic Fangio.
an uphill battle
He's
to.
gone.
You think he's
They need to get rid of Vic Fangio.
Vic Fangio? I don't think Vic's
Fuck,
the
yeah.
problem. I think not having a quarterback.
He's a defensive-minded
He's like one of the best
coach.
defensive-minded coaches in the
I
game.
understand that, but the league is so offensive-minded nowadays. I think he should go step down to a defensive coordinator, and their
He can
defense
come back
would be
to the
incredible.
Bears.
He could, and you guys would probably be incredible defensively.
That's who he was.
I know. I'm just
Bears
saying. I
coordinator in
don't think he's going to
2018.
be a good head coach. I don't think the Broncos make the playoffs with him as head coach. You
think
need
if you had
an
a quarterback-
offensive-minded coach in the league. That's just how it is.
I don't know. I disagree with that.
I mean, they say defense
Mike
wins
Vrabel.
championships, and the best defense is a good offense.
Mike Vrabel's a defensive-minded
He
guy.
also has the best running back in the league.
Well, he's hurt
Just
right
hand
now.
the ball, Derek.
but-
Just hand the ball to Derrick Henry, and you win. Last game we got
Makes it
Sunday
easy.
night. Let's wrap it up. Washington football team at Cowboys. What's the score right now? Is it over? What?
I think I just
Also,
went 0-2 in the semifinals.
For some reason, it is 50. Final score 56-14.
Whoa! Wow, that's bad, terrible. I mean, probably the biggest blowout this season, I think. Which Austin, I
Wow.
called that spread of -11 on that. So Austin this week so far is 5-10, and I am 11-4. You absolutely hate to see it. But I mean, watching that game, it was just all Cowboys.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
man.
final.
It was all Cowboys, early and quick, and
I lost by 4 in my other league too.
yeah,
Damn.
it's a shame, Austin. I'm sorry to
Tough
hear
week for you.
that. Yeah. Dak Prescott actually looked good, for once in the past 7 weeks, and then their defense just absolutely crushed it.
The defense is that's been the the shining point of the team this far. I feel like throughout the
Yeah.
season, Trayvon Diggs. I think he had another interception tonight.
Yeah, he
if
did.
I'm not
He
mistaken.
has 11 now,
That's crazy.
tied for most in Cowboys history.
Yeah, I mean he may break the record for most in NFL history in a season.
Yeah.
Obviously,
What is it?
14, I think.
is it 14?
I think it is.
He's got 11 right now. It might
Yeah.
be tough, but defensively, special teams, they had 2 touchdowns. I mean, Tyler, we talk about my formulas.
What is it?
Turn the ball over, time of possession, scoring points off turnovers. They
To
did
win a
all the
game.
above.
To
Yeah.
win a game? you're
Yeah.
saying? Okay. Gotcha.
They did all the above today. Like we were talking about, former Penn State great Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs. Dak played well tonight. Zeke's out there looking healthy.
Zeke with 2 tutties.
Yeah. I mean, if they're playing Cowboys football, they're going to be a good team. They're going to be hard to beat. Looking like they're commanding the second seed in the NFC. Still in the play for first seed overall, obviously. I'm hoping the Packers win out and solidify that. But it's interesting just like how much of a shit show the NFC East was last year for them to come in. Obviously, Dak, his injury played a big part in that.
Probably up for one of the players for comeback player of the year. But
I was going to say front runner. Who else?
They're saying Nick Bosa from the 49ers. He's
had a solid
I think he's second in sacks this season behind TJ Watt. But, Dak Prescott, I would say he would be definite if he didn't have a bunch of back-to-back blunders, statistically.
Yeah, it was like 3. You said 7, but I think it was more like 4 weeks now in a row until this game.
Yeah.
4 weeks where it wasn't even like terrible play. They were like still winning games. It just wasn't what we saw in those first.
Their defense was carrying them. And
right.
Honestly, I'm actually surprised how well their defense has been playing because I thought it was kind of like, is this actually what's happening? But no, Trayvon Diggs is, should have been drafted by the Raiders back in 2019, but he's actually having a phenomenal year. And Micah Parsons and their defensive line is just getting to the quarterback. And they had an interception today too for a touchdown. I think it was number 90 or 94, Randy Gregory. Or 90 maybe, that had a touchdown. So big game for the Cowboys.
How much do you attribute that to Dan Quinn's scheme?
I said
Backwards
this to
hat
someone.
Dan.
Backwards hat Dan is
he's a different kind of
man.
beast. Yeah.
I said this to someone. I think keep Mike McCarthy as as head coach, right? Put him in the box or in his basement or whatever the fuck.
In the basement.
Put Dan Quinn as the interim head coach for the rest of the season. They are just absolutely electric when the guy is on the sidelines officiating the team.
He was up in the box tonight.
Yeah. But I feel like the defense gets even more pumped because that game against the Saints, he was the interim coach and they just absolutely shit on the Saints defensively.
They had their way.
Cowboys do have the next 2 games, tough games, so it's no easy road to going first. Cardinals, who might be frauds, and then the Eagles, who are fighting their way to own their own destiny.
Right.
So, it's going to be tough for them to win out.
That Eagles team is pretty fun to watch right now.
Yeah.
Or at least their offense.
When they play well, it's awesome. Like, Jalen Hurts is such a special quarterback. When he's playing well, it's awesome. They have weapons. Everyone wants to hate on like Rager. He had a decent day. Quez Watkins, Devontae Smith. We're talking about Goddard.
Goddard is solid.
I forget they confirmed that
today.
touchdown, right?
Who?
Yeah, I think he had 2.
Goddard had 1 for sure. I know that.
I remember there was
Devontae had
something
1.
being weird about the review on it, but
No, that was Devontae Smith.
They did review it,
Yeah.
but I think he had 1 called back.
yeah. Regardless, Hurts dynamic. You got to root for him. Transfer guy back in college. Kind of got replaced.
It's just how the season has gone in the NFL for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
They lose stupid games that they shouldn't have lost.
Yeah.
The Eagles have lost a lot of games that they shouldn't have lost. Last game, Dolphins at Saints. Austin and I already picked this game. We both picked the Saints. Monday night, 7-7 teams. Brendan, who do you have?
It's in New Orleans?
In New Orleans. In the Big Easy. Who dat nation?
Dolphins 6-game win streak.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Taysom Hill not playing, which we didn't know.
Right.
But we have to stick with our decision.
Can't go back on it now.
Rookie quarterback playing.
Well, we could because it hasn't.
We
started.
technically could, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna stick.
Nah,
I'm gonna stay with my gut on this one.
Yeah.
I think the Saint, with Sean Payton,
the defense is just, they've really been really good lately.
Yeah.
Davenport and Lattimore, Cam Jordan.
Cam Jordan was unreal last game. Lattimore, or not Lattimore, but who was the guy that you said before that?
Davenport.
Davenport fucking put Brady into the ground last week.
Yeah.
And fucking taunted him. It was phenomenal.
He's a specimen.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
That was the pick the Packers should have had.
You're gonna roll the Saints on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll see how that one rolls out.
Who's that? I believe his number's 22 on Saints defense. He's like a cornerback.
Not Lattimore.
No.
He's 23.
Gardner Johnson?
Yep.
Or is it the other way around?
No, it's Gardner Johnson.
Cody Gardner Johnson? Is that it?
Probably, yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah,
I
think
hate
so.
that dude.
Why?
He talks so much shit out there.
I feel like all
Like,
the teams in the NFC do, though.
This dude just really bothers me.
Just did
It's
they
not
play
even
the
just this
Bears
year.
or like what?
Oh, well, last year he's the dude that, you remember Javon Wims?
Yeah.
Ripped his chain off and then just started
Was that the
swinging on him.
Thanksgiving game? Or was that the wild card game? No, that was the
No,
Thanksgiving game.
I
Or the
think-
Nickelodeon game. Right?
Well, you got me
Was
off
that
the
a
top.
game last year?
Was that the game that was on that date that had the football game on? I don't recall. I think
Okay,
it was.
It was the Nickelodeon game.
I think
I don't know why you guys are being like that, but okay.
I think it was the Nickelodeon game. You're
Thank
right.
you.
But yeah, that was fun to watch. Javon Wims do.
Nickelodeon game? You're making it out to be like a fucking college football bowl game.
Well, they only
It
did. They
was
only
on
did.
Nickelodeon.
They only did one, I believe.
And then
last
Mitch
year.
Trubisky won the MVP.
MVP.
Yeah. Okay. Shows how much you watch football.
I don't really watch the Bears much, so.
Do you watch the Saints?
I do.
Apparently not.
Yeah. Well, anything else to say this week?
Nah, shout out Danny NASCAR, you know, housing us and
This was fun
letting us
here.
watch the games.
Yeah.
It's always fun, you know,
It's
hanging
always
out
fun to be in the studio.
in the studio with my boys, the man goddamn, big business, your boy Osoy.
The business.
We will be back on Thursday, though. Austin will be back in Cali. I'll be in Tampa.
Mhm.
Brendan, unfortunately, won't be on, but
I don't have my own thing.
yeah. So we will be back to probably go over our picks for week, 17, and furthermore. But it was great to have you guys. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, recurring guest.
Week 16, No Look Podcast.
Hey,
What
as
do you guys
always,
say?
you don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. Until next time.
Adios.
Love you.